Tumbling tumbleweeds. That's something John always said when he was doing a mic check in an early band of his called Teacup Railroad. You may not have heard that much about him, but we're big up in the Lehigh Valley. So my name's Tom Barnes. I'm one of the friends of John from Allentown. Our parents were friendly, and I heard about John, but we went to different, back in the day, junior high schools, and went to William Allen High School together. I remember first seeing John. Here comes this person walking through cancer court, his pegged pants with safety pins, making them nice and tight around the ankle, and beetle boots, and pins on his lapels. I was like, wow, this guy's really got a confidence, really a presence. This is John Valania. And we got to know each other, became real friendly. We had different role models. As Never mentioned, it was, we didn't idolize Michael Jordan back in that day. It was Hunter S. Thompson, and we went down a different path than just the typical normal people. So we stayed in touch after college, and day tripped around the Lehigh Valley. We took some road trips up to New York City, stayed with a friend's brother, went down to Washington Square Park and drank imported beer out of a brown paper bag, and watched some real artsy type movies in the village like Liquid Sky, if anyone ever saw that. So I think it made an impression on all of us. We also took a road trip out west, and I remember we were at the Grand Canyon. We're staying at the Bright Angel Trail, and here comes John Valania wearing wingtip shoes. Classic John. So we're all sitting around, and John spent a lot of time trying to decipher Michael Stipe's lyrics, and decided to form a band. And so we did get together, and we formed the aforementioned Teacup Railroad. We'd practice in my parents' basement down North 10th Street. And my mom was recalling, she's a few years older than his mom, but she recalled John came over, and she said, "John, do you want something to eat?" And he's like, "No, I just had a lobster dinner." And of course, where do you get a lobster dinner in Allentown? Yeah, on a weeknight, but nevertheless, always something grand with John. So, oh my goodness. So I moved away, and as life has it, we kind of drew apart a bit, and the band, went in separate directions. But my mom would keep me in touch with what John was up to. At the time, he was writing for the Morning Call, and she's up in Allentown, and would send me, cut out the articles and send them to me. And I wanted to go find one of those, and I looked one up on the internet, and there was a review he did of a pavement show at the Khyber Pass, if you can believe that. Maybe somebody here was at that show. Unfortunately, I was not. But if I can even read this, from that quote, he said, describing the scene, easily, it was, oh my gosh, I can't even read this, but basically it was two people packed into a space no larger than the average college dorm room, like stuffing 10 pounds of manure into a 5-pound sock, and a sweaty sock at that. So pretty classic John's writing. So over the years, we would run into each other, mostly at shows. He probably was reviewing or just going to enjoy himself. I got to meet Joanne probably only a couple times during that time, and it was about 2 years ago at the Meat Puppet Show, not far from here at Underground Arts, where it was my last time I saw him in person before the pandemic. But he always remembered we'd send him a Christmas card with our kids on it, and he would always comment about how they were growing up and hopefully not turning out the way he did. Just sort of kidding about that. But what I'd really like to say is, John, left me with lifelong memories. They really shaped my view of the world and really of culture. And John was really a good friend. He was a really fun person to hang out with. And, he really challenged me to enjoy life and, hustle at work and really always have a relentless pursuit of being cool. Recently, my wife, Christine, and I were just cleaning up our basement, and I came across 2 poems that he had written. I'm going to read one for you tonight. I don't know what date these are from, but I can tell you they were done on a typewriter, and there's whiteout on them. So, give you that age. But it's called Funerary Hymn. You lie dormant, wrapped in cool gauze, soaked in Phoenician palm oil and nard. Your soul is a womb child, cloaked in sarcophagus upon sarcophagus upon sarcophagus. I, high priest, have written in jackal blood and juice of juniper, with the claw of the cock, as a brush, the word breath, on the wall of your crypt. It shall sustain that child afloat in mystical water. O womb child, breathe in the rich healing air it exudes on your journey through the land of the dead. Jonathan Scott Valania. Rest in peace, Valania.